Hello. So I'm back. I'm back feeling so weary and tired after consoling my friend for over 5 hours after he got drunk yesterday and actually made a phone call to his landlord and asked for an increase in his rent. So it has been increased by 20% and now he's like, it was a mistake, it was alcohol, it was alcohol. Guys, has alcohol ever made you make a decision that you regretted once you got sober? Even if the Bible said, take a little alcohol for your stomach, do you take little? You find somebody drinking 20 bottles of beer and is still calling it a little alcohol for their stomach. My friend, you will die. You will die. Yes. Because the moment you drink heavily, you forget yourself. You don't know who you are. You can be raped. You can contract diseases in the process. You can end up in a road accident and you just die. Yours is written off. That cause of death, alcohol. He got too drunk, couldn't find his way home. He was hit by a motorcycle or a bicycle or a car or a wheelbarrow. He lost his life and died. Now you end up going to hell because of simple sins that you could have avoided. Imagine going to hell because you are hit by a wheelbarrow and you lost your life because you are drunk. Very funny. So you become the devil's guest because you are drunk to find your way home. There has been a debate that has been ongoing and answers to it sometimes can be so tricky. Once you find yourself in this debate, you might end up arguing the whole day, the whole month, the whole year, and almost all your life you'll still be arguing and not finding solutions to your problem. On the topic of is alcohol a sin and is it right to drink alcohol and what? Now, according to the education that we received while we were back, we were students, we were told alcohol is a drug and anything that is described as a drug should be taken with limits. There must be a limitation to taking it into your body. But today, people abuse it. The moment you take too much of it, it becomes harmful to your health. When you abuse a drug, that means you are taking it wrongly, you are using it wrongly. And in the generation that we live in today, people abuse this drug that we call alcohol. People take much of it, and at the end of the day, it becomes poison to the body. Now, Christians have always believed that alcohol is sin. I cannot deny what the Bible says, but then I've also tried to get verses and scriptures that also talk about drinking alcohol and also regarding it as a sin. And I'm not gonna talk about it today because I don't want to pick up an argument with anybody, most particularly in this video. All that I am gonna say to you today is that too much of alcohol is dangerous to your health. And not only too much, but the moment you start ingesting alcohol into your body system, many things do change. Number one thing that changes the most is the way you reason. You start reasoning like, you are not a normal sober person who can reason and make decisions, especially when it comes to independent thinking. Yes, because the moment you're drunk, you cannot think soberly. And some people say, once you're drunk, you tend to speak the truth. That any word that comes from the mouth of a drunkard is actually the truth. Well, I don't know the truth about that because many people go to drink alcohol because they want to speak some truth to people and they didn't have the courage to talk about it because they were normal. So they go corrupt their mind a little with this bitter substance that interferes with the way they think. At the end of the day, they speak out the truth as they always say it. They speak it out be it to an adult, be it to their bosses, be it to their parents, be it to whoever person it is. At the end of the day, they come to regret it the moment they're sober. So, why do people take alcohol? Now, from the few people that I've asked, and also from little of experience, because I cannot say I'm too holy that I've never drunk alcohol. Yes, I've tested it, and my friend, it is not sweet. But I don't know what is so good about taking alcohol, because the moment you taste it, you want to take more and more and more and more of it. At the end of the day, you cannot even stand, you cannot even walk to your home, you are so drunk you can't reason. Those are the times when you pick up your phone call and start calling your landlord and telling them, you know what, boss, increase my rent. I'm tired of paying you little money, and you know I'm Luo. Luos don't pay small rents, actually triple my rent. Once you get sober, that is the moment you realize that you made a mistake. Now, a few of my friends were telling me that whenever they feel stressed, they take alcohol. Yes, and for good reasons, it has been working out for them, and most of them. Whenever they are drunk, the stress that was within their lives actually goes away because they are drunk. The alcohol replaces their thoughts. So they don't think about their problems anymore. They don't think about anything that stresses them. All that runs in their mind at that particular moment is the taste of alcohol and how it makes them feel high. They feel like they're on another world, another place that is not this world that we live in. Another reason why people also say they take alcohol is because they say it helps them speak the truth. As I've explained before, that many people take alcohol, and after taking alcohol it impairs their thinking. They don't think right, and at that time many of them feel like that is the time they can speak the truth. They can tell people the wrongs that they did to them. They can face their fears because they're drunk, and at the end of the day they will put blames on the alcohol they drank. So they will say, it wasn't me who was speaking, it was the alcohol that I drank that was talking in me. Another reason why people drink alcohol is because they want to forget their misery and stresses. Yes, misery, especially in sicknesses. Sometimes you could be suffering or going through a difficult time in your life where you feel like everything has stopped and nothing is moving. Sometimes it's your health. You look at your health is deteriorating each and every day. You feel like this is not the life that you wanted to live, and you don't want to remember it because every time you think about it, you fall into depression. Every time you look at your life becomes so miserable and you have nothing to do. So the only thing that you feel like is the best thing for you to do is to drink alcohol to help you stop thinking about your situation. There are many reasons why people take alcohol, and some could be related to medical or health issues. Like the doctors and scientists say, alcohol consumption helps reduce the risk of getting diabetes and probably heart attack. Yeah, so a little of it will help you. Some also say that a little alcohol will help your stomach. When you have stomach complications or stomach issues, it will help you. But let me remind you that every good thing, everything that excites people has its own disadvantages. Is taking alcohol a sin? In the Bible, long time ago, people used to take wine, and the reason why people were taking wine was because they weren't using it as a form of entertainment, something to cheer them up, to make them look happy, to make the occasion look more jovial and more successful. But unlike today, that people consume too much of it and later making it harmful to our health. Now, some of the disadvantages of taking alcohol is, or are, number one, it interferes with your immune system. Yes, your immune becomes weak each and every day that you continue taking alcohol. Number two, it interferes with your physical appearance. You start looking old when you're still young. You start looking like confused. You start developing wrinkles on your skin, making you look very ancient, yet you're still a young youth. Alcohol interferes with your physical appearance. That is for a fact. Number 3 disadvantage of taking alcohol is the fact that it lowers your sugar levels in your body. Yes, so you wake up or you late after taking alcohol, you feel you are so weak, very, very weak, and you cannot even support yourself. In some situations, you cannot even walk on your own. You need the help of somebody else to help you move around, even in your own house or even on the roads. And number 4, alcohol actually interferes with your sexual life. This one is very tricky because we have some alcohols that actually boost your sexual libido. They make you feel like you're just horny. You just want sex 24/7. That is what you want. And there are some also that interfere with your sexual pattern. Instead of these drinks boosting your sexual libido, they make it fail. They start making your cucumber, you know, for the men, to fall, to just sleep. You're there with your wife, you're there with your partner, but it cannot rise to the occasion because alcohol has actually messed up your pattern. Another disadvantage of alcohol is it impairs your thinking. You cannot think upright. You cannot make proper and clear judgments. Yes. Another disadvantage is that it lowers self-esteem. There are so many other people that really take this alcohol in a wrong way that they end up falling down on roads, causing accidents and many other things. Like they say, they black out even on the roads and they cannot move or make it to their homes. They end up sleeping on mud or on drainage systems. They look so weird. At the end of the day, people have very many things and ways to judge them. So alcohol sometimes can be so tricky and so risky. Now, what does the Bible say about taking alcohol? The Bible says, do not join yourself with those heavy drinkers who drink and forget themselves. That is the Bible. It's so clear. In as much as it might feel like it is permitting us to drink alcohol, but it says, do not mix yourself with heavy drinkers. Yes, because the moment you drink heavily, you forget yourself. You don't know who you are. You can be raped. You can contract diseases in the process. You can end up in a road accident and you just die. Yours is written off. That cause of death, alcohol. He got too drunk, couldn't find his way home. He was hit by a motorcycle or a bicycle or a car or a wheelbarrow. He lost his life and died. Now you end up going to hell because of simple sins that you could have avoided. Imagine going to hell because you are hit by a wheelbarrow and you lost your life because you are drunk. Very funny. So you become the devil's guest because you are drunk to find your way home. Another thing that the Bible says about alcohol is it should be given to the old and the sickly people. Yes, you know, the moment you are born, you are weak and vulnerable. You need help of people to move here and there. Within time, you will be independent and you can move independently and you can think on your own and make decisions privately or independently without the help of other people. Later in life, you'll get old and you will require the help of other people to move around, and that is when you'll be using a walking stick to move, and that is the time that you might contract other diseases of old age. They call them old age diseases that might make you feel so stressed and depressed when you try remembering how beautiful you were during your youth days, when you try remembering how you had the best of all lives. So you become stressed and depressed. That is the person who's supposed to be given alcohol so they can forget their misery, they can forget their stresses, they can forget the diseases that is actually consuming their lives. People mistake the Bible or they misquote the Bible through that verse that says, take a little alcohol for the sake of your stomach. Now, that verse was not talking to you. Yes, it was not talking to you, but the verse was written to a particular group of people in the Bible. When you read that verse chapter very well in the Bible, you will find that those people were suffering and struggling because of some stomach complications. And the way alcohol was being made in the past, the way they were brewing it, is not the same way that they're brewing it nowadays. So the solution to the problem that those people were facing was for them to take a little alcohol, just a little. They were prescribed for alcohol to help them fight this particular disease that was actually consuming them. And like today, even if the Bible said, take a little alcohol for your stomach, do you take little? You find somebody drinking 20 bottles of beer and is still calling it a little alcohol for their stomach. My friend, you will die. You will die. Leave alone those people who mislead you because of alcohol. We have people today drinking so carelessly and aimlessly. You are looking for your death. And until next time, always work hard and be nice to people. This is Devance Empire. End of discussion.